Alright guys, welcome to the first qualifier for the Genghis League. We've got XFactorLive here, spawning in the blue trunks, playing as Imposter Sus, up against kosdaBence, spawning the top side as Delhi, the green trunks. So we're here today on Golden Heights. Big thanks to MetaPlays for hosting this event and many others for both AoE 4 and AOM. So we'll see how kosdaBence goes, because I believe he's been inactive for a little while. At least in tournaments, I thought. Well, XFactorLive, I'm not too sure of who he is, but granted I've been not all that active in AoE 4 myself, so we are with China versus Delhi on a nice water map here, so we'll have to see what our players are going to get up to. XFactor bringing a villager already, wanting to get on that dock. There's only that small lake for both players to, well, they're not going to share the bloody thing now, are they? So we've got no early official yet. This XFactor wanting to get some early fishing boats here. kosda just going for that land eco, no attempt to get the wood for a dock here. So it looks like XFactor's going to go up to 3 ships for the time being. Will he go up to a 4th perhaps, because he's still gathering quite a bit of wood, not really making any attempt to get on the gold at the moment. No official for him just yet. So we've got Heidi on the way there, and wheelbarrow, that'll take quite a while. Man, I'm just one of those people that just doesn't get Delhi. I don't know what it is. I don't particularly enjoy playing their early game. They seem like a reasonable civ. Like when they're strong, they are strong, but they also seem like a civ that when they're not strong, they're not even average. They tend to be a little bit subpar even. Okay. Even when a civ like Rus or French is shit, they're still overperforming, seemingly. I mean, China used to have such a great, almost unstoppable late game. And it still seems like they've now one of the better civs for, you know, safe boom play regardless, you know, obviously because they've got access to their Barbican and the nest of bees. A lot of sheep being found there by kosdaBence, so it's been a real nice run around the map for him. Now he's going to look at getting on that wood eco. Tower of Victory. Increase the attack speed of infantry by 20% when produced within their influence. So got to keep an eye on when that tech actually applies. So does it apply to any infantry produced within the influence, and then they just have that like as an upgrade, basically 20% increased attack speed? Seems really Bit of a clunky way to do it, I guess, but you know, it is what it is. Pretty looking building though. So, Academy here. Academy first to generate just that little bit more official gold, and then XFactorLive will look at going for his Barbican somewhere. Age up, kicking in. H2 now. With both of our players. Costa going to try and wall himself in. Costa going to try and slow this down. He's also bringing a villager forward, so I have to see what he's looking to do there. Trying to go for an outpost on the sacred so he can maintain control of that, but at the same time, actually he's going to outpost the other sacred. At the same time, the wall off is getting up uninterrupted, relatively. Sanctity, not far off here. Looks like Piety is also being researched at the same time. I didn't realize that this could actually research both upgrades at the same time there. Unless that's just a UI bug, perhaps. I don't know. I didn't know that was a thing. So Sanctity's going to finish up. Piety, not far off. And so Costa with his scholars already in position. Going to reap the benefit of the two sacred sites. The pressure's on. Costa sus. XFactorLive. He's actually just cancelled that Barbican. He's looking at placing it somewhere where it might be a bit more useful in the event he gets raided. Because I mean, yes, well, he wants to hold on to the wood line. He always can come to the wood over here. Conversely, if he gets pushed off this gold, there's not a gold mine just sitting right over here. So I guess it's a more strategic decision. Although now Costa has a win con on the table, saying, alright, you got to come and get me in the next 9.5 minutes. Costa sus. 51 military, eco population already. That massive water eco. These deep water fish are going to regenerate some food over time as well. I think eventually he'll probably have to possibly kill off some fishing ships, because I don't know if he needs that many to keep all these, you know, fully saturated, but I don't know, I could be wrong. I'm not a huge big brain on the water eco in this game. Now Costa just chilling, hoping that the double sacred site possession is sort of enough to put him ahead economically here, but that's a huge fill count already for our Chinese player. So H3 going to be quicker here for kosdaBence, going to House of Learning. At the same time. Oh, was there a unit killed there? The Scholar's Garrison. At the same time, the sacred site is going to get captured because there is horsemen standing on it. Nothing actually over at this sacred. Costa's going to have to mount a force here if he wants to push back X Factor. He's going to lose a scholar there. He's got not nothing over here to protect this outpost as well. A little Jugnu horseman force is enough. Just pinch back that sacred site. Stop that gold trickle. Remove the potential win condition. Yeah, I think you probably need slightly less fishing ships than that for 3 deep water fish schools to be done. But then, I mean, he can always go and get the shoreline fish as well in the event he has oversaturated. It's just that it's slightly slower and it doesn't regenerate. No, it's the same speed, it just doesn't regenerate. Well, no, it might be slightly faster. I'm not 100% sure. Lancers. Going to take an awful lot of Jugnu shots to actually bring down. I mean, they are a heavy armoured unit, very tanky. Even though kosdaBence will be fighting uphill in terms of military population, at least he's got the right unit to do so for now. It is going to mean that eventually XFactorLive might change up this composition a little bit. kosdaBence is going to have to get a little bit more than just a handful of knights. A handful of lancers to get himself through this. kosdaBence looking to try and get on this gold mine, but at the same time, that is a massive army of light units there. But he's just parking for the minute. So Costa should be free to get on a sacred. So we got man-at-arms. No, yeah, man-at-arms. Sorry, there'd be palace guards if they're on the China side, but man-at-arms for Delhi on the way here. Well, there's not really any more production just yet because a Chinese player, XFactorLive, is going to add the clock tower. So snatching up that relic. So trying to regather another sacred and possibly grab another relic here as well if you can. That's a massive army now for our Chinese player. He's also going to deny this other sacred site. The tower's maybe a tad late, but the horseman's not going to be able to engage it. Ooh. It's actually not staying. So XFactor actually bringing him the horseman back. Costa adding more and more vills over here. Does he really want to go for the stone or something? So he can try and go for a forward castle perhaps. Costa going to lose one of those scholars there now. And yeah, he is going to try and gather a bit of stone. One of the armies over here, which is going to mean that this sacred site is under a lot of pressure. One man-at-arms going to fall really quickly. That's a lot of units hitting at it. Like, these Jugnu, as good as they are, well, as much as they are the best light ranged unit against lancers and against men-at-arms, they're still pretty shitty against them. So we've got a lot of crossbows now on the way. 4 crossbows and spear production here. So that's really going to cut through these lancers. The man-at-arms. And yeah, Tower of Victory applying to all the infantry. Just not some of the lancers. Does the effect wear off? Or does it just last? So that only apply to infantry. Yeah, infantry is all it applies to. So he's got stables next to it when really, I guess he could have well, more barracks is there. So that's pretty cool. 20% increased attack speed. But yeah, I wonder if Costa was best off actually putting these stables over here so he could later add more Raxes there. It's pretty risky farm eco there as well. And on top of that, they were all over here. Mining, now they're all back. Wood gathering. So we've got a lot of rams here. China player. It's interesting because he's, not bothering to go for a bunch of, trebuchets or... He does. Well, I suppose he wants to use the clock tower for nested bees and not worry about producing workshops, so it's just easier. He's already got the armory. Sorry, the blacksmith, so why not? Siege engineering. Go for the ram push. It's looking quite scary for Costa right now. Has he got enough forces stacked up here? He's brought the cavalry across to try and deal some damage to the dock, but doing so, it's a bit mistimed because XFactor's going to shove right into his base, take out a bunch of structures. Costa's got to try and hit something if he wants to deal some damage here. The man-at-arms going to need a little bit of support to try and deal with that nest of bees. So here we go, the Lancers are coming in, but there's a good surround by ally units on the nest of bees, and it's just going to focus, well, it was focusing on the infantry, now it's taking out the Lancers. Probably not the best use of it, but there might be enough ranged here. Costa, it's looking really rough for him. GG. XFactor takes the game.